Okay, so it's about 12:30 in the afternoon. I knocked out at about 6 a.m. I had to lay down. What was interesting is that in this hotel room, I don't know if you're going to see too much of it because I was over there going through all my suitcases and she stole a bunch of stuff, not just my jewelry. But it's very important to note the jewelry because that's something that they've had the opportunity to do for 12 years and they didn't do it. And it's because it's a stupid, petty crime. And I can make a police report about it. Those things are real. You can see I'm actually wearing some of the jewelry that they missed. That was in a separate container that I hadn't put in there. It actually was in the jewelry box, which is where an average criminal would look for stuff. And they would have taken the jewelry boxes because those are actually worth money too. Those are made from Martin and MacArthur in Hawaii. I don't even think that store's in business any longer. I'm not really sure. Maybe they are, but they're known for very good woodworking, and those were also gifts from my family that there are going to go into the storage. I'm going to be putting my stuff in Northwest Storage, and it's a location that I feel very sketchy about at this point. I feel like the guy that was intaking me is totally whatever, and he didn't like the fact that I said I'm over the whole tattooing thing, which I am. I am over it. I'm over. Everybody's got fucking tattoos, and I'm just over it. Whatever. I have a right to my opinion. Like, I used to love them, and I still think they can be sexy as hell. So, but yeah, I'm over it. So there you go. But he didn't like that because he, I guess, was living in like some Mormon town, and they didn't like his like family because they had tattoos, and that like pissed him off. I could tell. And anyhow, he'll totally help them if he can, and that sucks. But I'm just going to document everything that goes in the suitcases, everything that goes into the storage. I'll document the condition of everything and make sure that it's just all documented. And that's all I can do. And I'm going to post it. So instead of it, and people could say, well, then other people are going to want to break in and take it. It isn't worth all that. That's the thing. Like, it's not worth, if I had a ton of stuff that was super valuable, it would be, but I don't. I don't even have like a television or a stereo or computers or like anything. So, but yeah, it's just Manini shit that you're gonna get Manini dollars for. It's worth something when you buy it, but it's not worth anything when you try to sell it. So, um, but yeah, it's interesting that she decided to do that. So, anyways, I passed out at 6, and I could hear them in this hotel room. And this is a building, 2 buildings down. This is the Resident Inn Marriott, 2 buildings down from the Federal Bureau of Investigations in Portland. And undoubtedly, the people working here are very aware of what these people are doing. There's a haole guy with a beard, looks like Hell's Angel-ish. He drives a Jeep, and he's definitely involved. He was sitting outside and having a smoke. And again, it's just the whole aura, the whole vibe. It's the fact that he's out there, at the times that he is. And interesting to note, I made a video last night of a guy that was sitting outside, and it was fucking cold last night. Like, it iced up and everything. Um, and he was just sitting in his vehicle for over an hour with the heat running instead of being in his warm hotel room, which is just weird, for over an hour. And so I videotaped it, and I told the people, and the security went, and then he came inside. But what's interesting is I tried to upload that video, and I didn't show his face, and he didn't have a plate on the front of his car, so that wasn't shown either. And I also made the disclaimer, of course, that I can't know this 100% for sure. I'm just documenting odd, strange behavior, because really the position of where he was at that door is what they're going to want to do, is put someone at that door so that when I come and I go, which I'm going to go most likely out of that door because of where my location and my hotel room is, they want, he can then say, oh, she's outside, she's over there, you can go inside, you can be inside the room, blah blah blah. But yeah, that video just disappeared. So, and a whole bunch of other videos that I tried to upload all of a sudden disappeared. So I got up and the animals were just totally freaked out. I didn't really sleep. It was sort of like, I think I woke up at 8. I think I woke up at 9. I was just getting up here and there. This arm is super sore. The cuts on my finger were just on fire all night long because the toxins in the air, when they hit these cuts, it's just excruciatingly painful. Again, I have no doubt that the feds or the government don't know about this. Saw two SWAT guys, and they appeared to be kind of monitoring me. I hope they are. And this is the funny thing: if the federal government ever would take my threats against them, which is not against them, but against the people that are doing this, if that's including them, then fine. Seriously, then they would be following me. And I have made threats against killing all of these people, in the hopes that the feds would follow me around, because then it's super obvious that I'm being followed by other people, and that I'm telling the truth about everything I've said. So yeah, here we are at the Resident Inn Marriott. People work here are totally helping them. They're able to get inside my hotel room every time I leave. Those key card things, it just must be easy to, I'm guessing hotel maintenance has keys that are universal, because I'm guessing like the people who clean the rooms and stuff, that's not like they're carrying around a card that goes to each one of these. They're going to have a universal card that opens all the doors. So all you have to do is find someone that works minimum wage to clean rooms and makes jack shit, who maybe wants to make $100 that night, or $200, or whatever, or has a friend that knows somebody. That's it. This is how easy this is. How fucking easy this is. So, yeah. So they feel sick. They feel totally freaked out. They did go outside and go to the bathroom, but it was really weird. They were just like sort of standing there, and I was so out of it. Not only because I only got a few hours of sleep, but also because I was so drugged. And that was what was crazy. As soon as I laid down, it just poured into me. I mean, it was just so potent. They just so wanted to get started and get going and, whatever. I expected them to replace my jewelry, because they've done that before when they've taken things and then I've noticed, which they thought I wouldn't know for a very long time or something. But that I noticed they'll return it, because then I look crazy, and it never happened. So I actually expected that to happen here, because that would be the smart thing. But what I'm thinking is that crack whore, the 4'10", 85-pound girl who was homeless in Hawaii, who has strong connections in Eugene, Oregon, gave all that jewelry because she wanted to be all big time and look at me, I'm so like whatever, and gave all my jewelry to these homeless people that night were all inside my bus, and that participated in raping, sodomizing, and torturing my body. That's what I think happened. I think she wanted to be all big time, and I'm guessing the people on top would not be impressed by that. It's small time. It's not the game that they've been playing for 12 years. The smarter game, the long term game. It just isn't worth it. Even as upset as it might make me, it's not worth the downside of that, which there is, because those people that they used and she brought in Eugene, Oregon, those are the kind of people the feds could easily, easily get to. First of all, they're drug addicts, and second of all, they're petty. They're petty criminals, and third of all, there were a ton of them. And someone rented those rooms. Someone had an ID, a credit card, or something that got those rooms. And the security that was supposed to be walking around the parking lot at the Valley River Inn in Eugene, Oregon, apparently didn't see a whole bunch of homeless people in my bus. And my bus is very particular. Everybody notices my bus. They would know that that bus did not belong to those people. One of those, there was a woman that had a husky mixed dog with 3 legs, and her boyfriend, her whatever guy, whatever he was to her, looked like her boyfriend, was definitely one of the men who sodomized and raped me, just from the way he looked at me the next morning. And he wasn't there that night, not really late at night when I came out. So anyways, I'm saying a lot. I went and got 2 coffees, but I do have to lay down because my body's just... And I'm hoping to get some like rough sleep where I'm like not really asleep, but I get some rest. while they gas and gas and gas. In the middle of the day, 2 buildings down from the Federal Bureau of Investigations in Portland, Oregon. That's insane. That is fucking insane. So, and while I'm waiting for my RV, which will be either given to me, they keep delaying it and delaying it and delaying it, and it's all shady. And I'm always this close to just pulling out, and we'll see. um I'll fight for my money back if I have to, and go get my shit out of there. So if that's the way it's going to be, because I'm not going to spend 30K on a vehicle and then get totally fucked and have syndicate guys have a hold of it and do bad things to it so it breaks down, or so I get sick when I drive it, but it's all going to be conducive to trying to rape me, and sodomize me and torture me. And it's just amazing how important that has become to them, that they're willing to risk so much. I mean, 2 buildings down from the Federal Bureau of Investigations. I'm right next door to Target, which is filled with military guys, government guys. Like, they're constantly going in and out of there. If these guys were being watched by the feds or any government entity, they would never be able to know, like, in a place like this, because they're just all over the place. But yeah, they stayed here at the Resident Inn Marriott in rooms in this hotel with the sole purpose to rape, torture, and sodomize and do whatever else they do. And that's what happened. And I'm renting this room again tonight, because although I was supposed to get my RV a couple days ago, and then I'm supposed to get it today, then all of a sudden the part's not ready. It's too whatever. But you know what? In circumstances like this, I let people like this just keep going. I'm going to let him keep going with this. Because the more he does, the more the government can watch, the more the government can understand what's happening, and the more they'll have on him. And that's not good for these guys. So, and this is another note, that Howley guy that's in the building, that's got the beard, that's totally participating in this and probably has already raped me at least once. He is so fucking anti-American. Number one, he's working with the cartel, which is pretty much bound and determined to take over America. And they already are, with the help of people like him. And he's obviously a drug trafficker, a sex trafficker. And the interesting thing is that this has all been started by the Hawaiians. The Hawaiian sovereignty, probably in particular, a certain faction of them. And because of the flag I saw yesterday in Portland, I think that was yesterday, the day before. No, I think it was yesterday. Can't remember. But those people hate America. Hate America. Like, if they could line up Americans and just shoot them dead, they would. They want to take that land from the American people. And that is a very, you could say it's just Hawaiian land and, it's a tourist spot, blah, blah. No, it's a strategic point in the world that protects the United States against Asia, and that more particularly against China. So it is actually very important for all American people, the Antifa guys, the people that stormed the Capitol. Every single American in this country is being protected in part by the people who are in the Hawaiian Islands on behalf of the United States government. And you know who their enemy is? The Hawaiian sovereignty. And you know who my enemy is? The Hawaiian sovereignty. It's the same people. So every single person that helps these guys is helping, number one, the cartel, and number two, the Hawaiian sovereignty, which is super anti-American. So I'm a little wound up for the minute. So yes, I'm blah, 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 and I'm trying not to jump around, but yeah, that's that. So just to remind everybody what this really is, that all these people that are doing this are helping people who want to destroy America, who would love to see America fall, who are loving the chaos, who want this to continue so that this leads to them being able to overthrow the United States government in the Hawaiian Islands, which would be very detrimental for the United States. Very detrimental. So thank guys like this. Thank guys like the Hells Angels who run around with fucking American flags on their shit because they're so anti-fucking American. Number one, by dealing drugs to their own people. Number one, by making money off of dealing drugs to their own people. Number three, by helping the cartel infiltrate the United States of America and become the basically underworld overlords of this country, and helping and participating groups who want to overthrow the United States. There you go.